as Glen Grunwald stepped down as president and CEO. And our next guest has had the unfortunate happenstance of being on this show in its many iterations over, I don't know, like 20 years. First as a guest when he was a GM with the Raptors, to working as an analyst with us, to his time in U Sports, and most recently as the president and CEO of Canada Basketball. As I mentioned, a role he announced that he was stepping down from today. Glen Grunwald joins us now. Glen, thanks so much for joining us again.
Tim, thanks for having us on. Yeah, I remember my days when I was your analyst, and we were on during the Malice of the Palace. Remember that?
That was unbelievable. You, myself, and Sid Sixero come up after the Malice at the Palace, and I'll never forget Greg Anthony's last words on ESPN before the cameras came transfixed on us was, "I don't think there'll be any suspensions." I think you missed. Yeah, I think you missed. Listen, I want to talk Canada basketball, and it seemed like Canada's basketball trajectory going in the right direction. I know this summer was tough, but is that part of the reason why you're talking about retirement from the role as president and CEO?
Well, I think it's just time for me to make a change and turn it over to new leadership. Obviously, we didn't get the success we wanted from the Olympics this year. I think there's a lot of reasons for that, but I think the future's still bright, and I still want to help and contribute, but in a way that I think I can best do that is through, consulting with Michael Bartlett, the new CEO, and helping him with some of the basketball operations stuff, and also, trying to get built a national training center for Canada basketball.
That would be very nice. Well, before we get into, and I want to talk a little bit about Michael Bartlett and how he's going to take over and your new role, but just looking back, what was the best part of the gig for you?
It's the people. I'll tell you what, there's some great people that work in basketball, not just at Canada Basketball, and there's a great group of folks there that are dedicated and talented and really working hard. But the PTSOs, the players, the coaches, the referees, so many people, so many good people involved in basketball, and it's really been great to get to know them a little bit and work with them and help move things along. And, I think if we can continue to work together, we can reach the full potential that basketball has in this country.
So Michael Bartlett is taking over. I know the name from MLSE. What can you tell our audience about the new man in charge?
Well, I tell you what, he's a star. He really is, and he was the go-to guy at Maple Leaf Sports Entertainment. He did so many things there, I can't even list them all. But from the start of the MLSE Foundation to the launch pad to the All-Star Game to helping out with the COVID and doing the bubble for the NHL, he's really a great guy, and it really has great values, and his vision to. Basketball is probably the most inclusive and diverse sport in Canada, but he wants to take that to another level to make sure that everyone that participates in basketball has a positive and safe experience and that everyone feels welcome at our sport, whether you're a player, a coach, a referee, administrator, or a fan. And I think, we've got a great opportunity really to help build our country and bring people together, and I think he's the right guy to do that.
Before you made this announcement, we had Nick Nurse in studio to announce that he was returning and was going to see this team through, at least on the men's side, until the next Olympics. How big was that before you leaving, getting Nick Nurse resigned?
Well, I think even though I'm leaving, and I'm going to say this, I think to have stability and consistency is important, and that's one reason why I wanted to stay on and help where I could, to make sure that whatever knowledge I had or experience I had was available to Michael and the rest of the staff, and to keep things going forward. Because again, we didn't quite have the success we wanted to. I think I don't want to make excuses, but timing is everything, and we would have had a different team both for the men's and women's in the Olympic qualifying if we had played when we were supposed to. But things didn't work out. But that shouldn't discourage us. I know we're disappointed, but I think Nick's a great coach, a great guy. He is fully committed and totally devoted to trying to make this happen. And he really puts the time into to work with the players and the staff, and to work with the administration of Canada Basketball to make sure that his his contributions are not just coaching, which are very good, but also in terms of making sure we can put a team together and treat the players the right way.
For those who don't know Glenn's history, he may have been the greatest Chicagoland basketball player in high school history. He won a national championship at Indiana. You've been around the game for a long, long time. How close do you think that this program is?
Oh, I think we're close. I tell you what, just look at the men's program for a minute. Had we played in 2020 when we were supposed to, we would have had Shea Gilgeous-Alexander and Jamal Murray, but unfortunately in 2021 came rolling around, they were hurt. We would have had Kem Birch and Kelly Olynyk, but unfortunately in 2021, unlike 2020, they had a contract situation and had to deal with that. So, I think we've got, we learned something. I think our players learned something in terms of what we need to do to be more together, to be more consistent in terms of our roster, to play together more over a series of years. Our women's team had done that with some great success, and then COVID hit, and they weren't together for 18 months.
Yeah.
And then we had to come together and prepare for the Olympics in Tampa. We didn't have the opportunity to play exhibition games there. So all these things, matter. We've got enough talent, and now we just got to put it together. And I'm just so excited about the future basketball. Like our age group teams, our under 16s in the Americups medaled. Our under 19 teams in the World Cup, barely lost to the U.S. and wound up with a bronze medal. So the future is very bright, and I look at some of the young players coming up. It's just exciting to see.
Do you know what's next for you, or are you settling into that consulting world with the Grizzlies and Team Canada that I hope to one day get into?
Yeah, I'm going to stay in this role.
Yeah.
I don't know you never know where the future will take you, but right now I'm focused on helping the Grizzlies, helping Canada basketball, and again, trying to build this national training center, which is so needed. I mean, the shortage of facilities for people that want to play basketball is there, and we're starting to meet it, but I think, we really need a national training center like most of the basketball powers, Australia, the U.S., Spain, France, and like most of the other NSOs in Canada. So we're going to work through that, and then I'm going to devote a lot of my time and efforts towards that.
Well, if I can ever help, you know where to find me. It's been a couple decades that we've been bothering you and trying to get you on the show, and I know it can be a pain in the ass at times, but don't be a stranger.
It's always fun. Always fun. I can see the Tim and Friends National Basketball Training Center right now. The naming rights are available.
I love it. I'm going to talk to the bosses. Appreciate you.
All right.
There is Glen Grunwald.